Hello everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Am I heard? Please let me know if you have any problem from your side. There is people, they come in the chat and they are like bugs, and we told the admins anytime they come here, block them, but those admins are useless. So I think time to change the admins very soon. Today our topic is about Zakir Naik. And for me, he's not even worth answering. But some of you asked me to answer about him claiming that according to Christianity, when God, he said, or the Bible said, that begotten a son, that means that he had sex. And here we see, actually, this is a clear insult to Islam, not to Christianity. Everybody knows that neither the Christians, neither the Muslims believe that Mary, she had sex in order to have a son. So when this idiot, he say what he say, well, isn't it this is contradict his religion? And he knew that our belief too, that Mary, she was a virgin and she did not have a son because of any sexual relationship. So how begotten a son mean God have sex? Secondly, you idiot. I don't know if I can call him an idiot. When this God we are talking about, which is our God, you say, oh, that means he had sex. Well, shouldn't he have somebody to have sex with? Who is the mother of Mary? Sorry, the mother of Jesus, Mary. But was Mary exist when Jesus was exist? Isn't it the Bible says that Jesus said, before Abraham I am? Did Jesus say, before Abraham I am? And the Jews, they said to him, you are not even 50 years old. So how you can be before Abraham? So, those cowards, they bring a Christian girl, and actually they use those Christians. Those Christians are the foolish ones of you who promote Islam without knowing. If you do not know how to answer such a stupid person, what kind of a Christian you are? Secondly, why you go there? I mean, what the point? Can you really debate? So are you going to learn your religion from such a stupid idiot? Who is the donkey here? So many those they call themselves Christians, I think they are broad. I think maybe even they I don't want to say they pay them, but they made them come, and for sure they asked them the question before they go on the stage to talk. All of this is organized. I mean, it's like there's 20,000 people. How they knew that this girl is the one who will have a question? Simply, they have the question before the program, and this guy they take advantage from with those ones, and he say things which is really embarrassment for Muslims and embarrassment for Islam, because we know that the Quran say clearly that Mary, she never had sex, and the Bible says the same. So how begotten a son mean had sex? Begotten a son between I had a son. That's it. It's not about, and if this is a man he's saying that, well, for sure then the man who is saying that, well, he cannot have a son without having sex. So that can be sexual. But we knew that in the case of Jesus, it's a miracle. The Muslims agree and we agree. So how this idiot he says such a thing? But if you are a foolish, you are a foolish. I cannot make you smart. Nobody can make you smart. When the Chinese, they said he left as a donkey, he never come back as a horse. So this donkey, he make advantage of little donkeys. And there is many Christians between us, they do not know the Bible. And look, a girl, her name is Mary. She want to learn, and she said to him, you said that there is no verse in the Bible says Jesus says I am God, and she quote for him what Jesus saying, I am son of God. And then he said, well, I said what he said. Let us see what he said. He said,
correct your statement. You made a question saying that I said that nowhere in the Bible it says that Jesus is the son of God. I never said that nowhere in the Bible is it mentioned that Jesus is Son of God? I said, there is not a single unequivocal statement in the complete Bible. There is not a single unambiguous statement in the complete Bible when Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, himself says that I am God, always they worship him.
And now the Muslim, they clap, and this silly Christian woman, she is being the mockery of everybody. She cannot answer. She does not know her book. She is stupid. She is being used. Now, not a single, and he said there is in the Bible it says there is many son of God. But if we go to the same chapter, if this lady really is really Christian, well, you just quote for him the verse. It says only, there's only the begotten son. There is only one begotten son. The rest are sons. I am, we Christian, when we pray, we say our Father art of heaven. But we are not the begotten son. So when he answered her, a kid can answer, but those stupid Christians who call themselves Christians, they never learn the Bible. They go and they put themselves, and this is why they brought them. Look, they are surrounding her like a police. She is in the theater. She is the star of stupidity. And those Muslims, they get to pray. Like look around her, and she looked like a fool. She don't know what to say. I never said Jesus. I never said there's nowhere in the Bible it says Jesus, I am Son of God. There's many Son of God in the Bible. David is Son of God. But the fact, the verse she quoted for him, and this is why I say, debating is a gift. Not everybody can debate. Not everybody have the ability of debating. There is people specifically when they are in debate, they lose their sense, they lose their logic, they get intimidated, they don't know what they are saying. And we saw many of them from both, from Muslim side and from Christian side. If we go to the verses, Zakir Naik he mentioned, you will see it says there specifically, and we will answer about saying there's nowhere he said I'm God. Let us go to the verse. Where is the verse? Okay. All right. So this is the verse in the chapter in front of us. Let us zoom in. This is John chapter 3. So when the Bible says that he is the only begotten son, there is the word only. It doesn't say he is begotten son. It says he is the only. And he himself, Zakir Naik, he read the verse only. There's no other person. So obviously what the Bible speaks about, that there's no other person beside him as the begotten son. And then if we ask ourselves here, the verses we are reading, does it say only just he is a begotten son, or there is something more? What about we challenge Zakir Naik to read the whole chapter, and we will see if that chapter alone is enough to prove that Jesus is making it clear that he is God. For God loved the world in this way so much that he would give up his son. You see, when you say his son, if he have many sons, you don't say his son. There is no other son. And for sure there's different translation, but all of them, they lead you to understand clearly that there's only one son and there's no other. If a person he have many sons, we say he gave his son, which son, we're talking about one, the only one, so that everyone who trusts in him shall not be lost, but he shall have eternal life. For God did not send his son into the world. etc. You can read the rest. So the verses is very clear. There's only one. The word one is there in front of you. There's no other son. And then for God he loved the world, he sent his son. If I am sent from above, and Jesus says I am from above, you know, when Jesus said I am from above, he mean from where? Like he is an alien, he's coming from the space, he was a meteor. Maybe Jesus saying, you know what, I fell from a spaceship, you know. So, you know, they are silly and they are stupid, and they are challenging the one who know nothing. And when you challenge someone know nothing, anyone can win such a challenge. A little girl, she have no idea what she is talking about. And maybe even she might be even the one who wrote the question for her, you know. We don't know. Jesus said, I am from above. But Jesus never said, according to Zakir Naik, that he is God. But how Jesus can be from above? So if we go to chapter 8, the same book of John, and you will notice, by the way, the story of Mary, the Virgin Mary, speaking about the begotten son, the only son, it's coming in chapter 3 in the Quran, the same number. And I believe that when the Muslims, they made the Quran, they wanted to make it chapter 3 in purpose. You know, there's a reason to make it chapter 3. So if we go now to John, let us see, go to John, hold on. John 8, let me move there. We open John 8, and we will see in a second that this man is an idiot, and any Christian kid can refute him in 2 seconds. Any one of you, adult or kid, you do not need to be genius really. Okay, this is John, the book, the Bible according to John. If we read together here, I mean, all the book of from the beginning, from the first letters of John, in the beginning it was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and then the Word became a flesh. I mean, it's the whole Bible, the whole book of John is from the first line to the last line. But anyway, we will go with those liars. So if we read together, Zakir Naik says, Jesus nowhere in the Bible says, I am God, worship me. This is John, chapter 8, the same book he's reading from. He's trying to refute you as a Christian. When the women, they try, like the Musa's law, that if somebody commit adultery, should be punished for adultery. But those Jewish are, as usual, the same as the Muslim. If you remember the story, when a woman, one of you mentioned to me a story about Muhammad, a woman, she came to him, and she confessed her sin. She said, I did fornication, and she is carrying a child in her womb. So Muhammad, because merciful according to Muslims, he told her, go and come back after you give birth. She gave birth, she came back, she said, I am the one who committed fornication. And Muhammad said to her, go after 2 years, nurse your baby, your boy. So she came after 2 years, and then Muhammad, he stoned her. But you know this in the story, because Muhammad and the one who wrote the story, both of them, they are donkeys. Shouldn't Muhammad ask her, who is the one who slept with you? I mean, what kind of judge, what kind of a prophet he is? So Muhammad here is the same as those hypocrite Jews. A woman, she committed adultery, but you will see only a woman. Where is the man? What is the man in the story? There's no man. They are going after the women, the poor women, So Jesus, he showed them that they are a bunch of hypocrites like the Muhammadan today. They go after the women, and the man, he escaped. Muhammad was the biggest fornicator ever. He is not only fornicator, he's a rapist, he is a criminal, he is a thief, he is a child molester. So where is the man? There is no man. And then when Jesus says to them, if one of you, he among you, who is without sin, let him first cast a stone upon her. And for sure, they right away they felt how hypocrite they are, and they let her go. And then Jesus, he said to her, where are they? The one who want to kill you. Has no man condemned you? But she said, not even one, Lord God. Not even one, Lord God, calling Jesus. And Yeshua said, neither I do condemn you. Go from now on and sin no more. Sin no more. And then Yeshua spoke again with them, and he said, I am the living God. You see, many translations, they translate the word I am, but this is what the Bible in the Old Testament says. When Moses spoke to God, God, he said to him, I am, which, the word all of us we use in the Hebrew, and we use it as a name for God, even though that God does not have really a name, but because he is holy, he is almighty, there's no name can describe him. So the I am, when you see Jesus saying I am the life, I am the resurrection, I am the truth, I am the way. Yet you will see a filthy idiot saying nowhere Jesus says, I am God, worship me. How you can be the life if you are a prophet? How you can be the truth if you are a prophet? The truth is God. And actually even the Muslim, they stole a name from Jesus, that he is the truth, and they give it to their God. If you ask the Muslims, is it true that the name of your God is the truth? They say yes. But the fact is Jesus who said that. So Jesus says, I am the truth. And here we see in front of us, in front of your eyes, Jesus not only saying he is the truth, he is making it clear that he is the living God. He is, and no other one. I am the living God. And then we will find this potato saying that where Jesus said, I am God, worship me. Nowhere. Can we find it? Is it really there? Where the Christians are bringing this from? So, those people, when they make their claim, they knew they can be refuted so easy. This is why they are bringing that girl to play as a fool. She's Abdul at that point, actually. This Christian woman, she is helping the Muslim to promote Islam and to make Christian look like a bunch of fool. This is exactly what the purpose of this. They will not put you in the stage unless you are stupid. Trust me. The second they notice that you are a person who can make them in the floor, you will never be there, ever. Do you agree? You are invited to ask the question for a reason, because they want to use you. You do not know, you are silly, you are stupid, you are ignorant, and you are trying to get an answer. And supposedly this girl, what about this Zakir Naik? He say he want to take a question from a Christian prince. Why this girl? I mean, why this girl, she can talk to him, but we cannot? Did you ask yourself? There is very simple rules. If you are not ready, I'm not going to challenge someone. He have a black belt karate in karate if I don't know even how to move my hands. That is stupid. So the Muhammadan, they choose someone he have no idea, is easy target, easy to make him look fool, not someone he can put Zakir Naik in the spot immediately. Now going back to Jesus saying, nowhere Jesus says I am God, worship me. Do you Muslims worship Allah because he says he's God? Well, if this is a scenario, well, your God, he says he is God, huh? And when he spoke about Mary in the chapter 3 verse number 40, look what happened, just to show you who is the one who wrote the Quran. This is about Zechariah, and we will speak about Maryam later. The angels, they came to Zechariah and they give him the good news about Yahya. But Yahya is the name of Yahweh. But Muslims don't believe in Yahweh. Actually, the guy whose name is Daniel, he said to apostate prophet that Yahweh is a pagan god. But he don't know that Yahya is a name of, and Zechariah, Yeshua means stupid people. So here you will see that the angel spoke to him, but what he said, my Lord. What the angel spoke to him. The one who writes the story is a donkey. If the angel is talking to him, how he say, my Lord? Who is the Lord? The angel is his Lord. If you continue here saying, and the angel says to Mary, Allah has chosen you and has purified you. Okay, but we just heard Zakir Naik saying begotten son mean have sex with Mary, she have begotten son. Mary, she have begotten son. But the Quran itself saying that Mary, she have begotten a son and no man touch her. The angel said to Mary, Allah give you a good news for a word from him. His name is the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary. Okay. Where is Jesus coming from? He is a word from God. He is not from this earth. How she receive him? She begotten a son. Did she have sex? The Quran says no. So here you see Zakir Naik is insulting his religion, and he is claiming that Islam believe that Allah had son from Mary by having sex with her. Because who is the one who made Mary have a son? Allah, according to the Muslims. So who is the one who had sex with her? Then Allah. If begotten son mean begotten mean having sex. So very silly, very low class, and very trashy. You know, I mean, savage, trashy people, low class, lower than the spit on the floor. Here you will see that the Messiah is a person that exists before he was sent down. Why? Because his name is the Messiah, not his name will be the Messiah. And those who speak Arabic, they can read it. The translation is accurate, even though I don't agree with the translation of Muslims. It says, يُبَشِّرُكَ بِكَلِمَةٍ مِّنْهُ اسْمُهُ الْمَسِيحِ. So he is telling you the good news, the glad news of a word from him. His name is the Messiah. So his name is the Messiah. He exists. And now if we go, we will see that when Jesus said, let us see, let us switch the Quran actually. I thought I'll switch the Quran. Give me a second. I will go. Yeah, this is StreamYard is not helpful. Let us see. Okay, now we can read it better. So, and Mary, the one who said, Allah, the angel said to Mary, the angels, Allah, he give you the glad tidings of a word from him. His name is the Messiah. And we show it to you in the front of your eyes. So the Messiah is a person who have a name. You don't give a name to a person who does not exist. You should say, you will call him. Let us say, you will call him. Okay? Unless this name is a title, like he will be called, let us say. But this is a name given to nobody of a person, not only a title, because there's nobody have a title like this. His name is the Messiah. We remember this guy, his name Potato Uthman. He said there's many Messiah, and he was quoting a notebook trying to prove the point that there's many Messiah. And people, they die laughing at his stupidity. So his name is the Messiah. And this person who is the word of God coming down to you. And not only that, he will do miracles and he will speak to people when they are in the cradle. And here there's a mistake in the Quran. It says he will speak to people in the grave and the adulthood. The translation here says adulthood. The fact it says وَكَهْلًا وَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, Kahlan when he grow old. Kahlan when he grow old, not a young person. So Jesus, according to the Quran, he will grow old. And then here it says, she said, okay, Lord, how I'm going to have a child when no man has touched me? Again, the same mistake. Who is the one who spoke to Mary? The angels. Who is Mary speaking to? The Lord. Do you see who answer? People, do you see who answer? Who answer? If the angel is the one who came to her, Mary, she said, Lord, my Lord, how can I have a child when no man has, has touched me? Okay, wonderful. But the one she was talking to supposedly, and the one is talking to her, is the angels. Suddenly it is the Lord speaking to Mary, and the Lord is answering Mary. Do you see it? I see people in the chat, they are chatting about everything except our topic. That because there is a lot of people with super intelligence here, right? We have a person here, he is smart, he is saying, you ate Jesus' body and you drink his blood, and he is laughing. Well, this is very laughable. First of all, you are a son of Muta, and as long you are a person who say lies, we will say the truth. Can you show me one Christian who drink the blood of Jesus? As Jesus is around us, we drink his blood? You are very silly and stupid. Son of Muta, what you expect? Your mother, she gave birth to you in the bar. And the guy who slept with her, he opened her by a bottle in the bar. And then he dropped a drop of beer. And then you grow in the counter, as the Quran says. Isn't it the Quran says that the sperm will become a piece of a blood, a piece of a flesh? So this is you. A guy saw your mother in the bar. He dropped a drop of semen. And then it grow in the bar counter, and you became a human. MashaAllah. You see, this is how silly they are. The same as Zakir Naik. Well, everybody knows that we don't mean really that we are drinking his blood, but they are silly, stupid. You drink the blood. But reality is the one who drink the blood of Muhammad is the Muslims. In real, we can show the hadith right now. When a person, a man, he drank the blood of Muhammad, he been promised to go to heaven. So you are a zombie. We have reference for it. What you are saying is absolutely false. I hope your mother, she will give birth to you, to another brother in the bar again. May Allah bless you. Okay. It is a pagan practice. All of your religion, Islam, pagan practice. Secondly, where is the pagan practice? We don't drink blood. Have you ever seen anyone in church drink blood? Jesus said, "This is my blood," will be in symbolic for his blood. It was a drink, and the bread. So neither the bread is a practice of paganism, neither the drink is a sample of. And you are the one who is a pagan. You are the one who kissed a stone. You are the one who bent a stone. Actually, the stone, the black stone, and we showed the reference 1,000 million times, that women, they touch their vagina, they place their hand inside the vagina, and that's why your prophet said that the sin of Bani Adam, the sin of the children of Adam, made the black stone black because it used to be white like milk. So women, they touch their vagina, and those are women supposedly are sinners, and because they are sinners, they cannot have a baby according to the pagan belief. And Muhammad, he adopt the pagan belief. He still bow down to the stone, he kissed the stone, he licked the stone, and he claimed that if you touch the stone erase your sin. Are you there, Isa? May Allah, Isa, send you to heaven, and 72 virgins will jump on you, and they will try to suck your. Don't take me wrong, they don't have one. You are like your prophet. There's a chapter in the Quran about the penis of your prophet. It's called Al-Abtar. A man, he said to him, he is cut off. Muhammad don't have a penis. Prove it. Prove it that he have a penis. Have you ever heard of a guy, he slept with all those women, he could not one of them have a kid for him? Not even one? Anyway, not our topic. Let us go back to our topic. So here you see the stupid Allah. He's making a story. The angel, they spoke to Mary, And Mary, she said, oh Lord. And then Allah answered. So why Allah sending the angels if He's there? Was the angels there or Allah is there? When we say stupid is amazing, it's amazing. By the way, starting from the coming life, we are going to start going in Christian Prince account. Take a note. So this is maybe will be our last podcast in this channel temporarily. You know, we switch between channels. The other channel, I think we have like a 90,000 something. This one is 80 something. So we will switch that channel. Take a note. And if you don't have it, maybe the admin can post that channel and you can subscribe. Yeah. So do you see how easy it is to refute those cowards who don't dare to debate us? They bring a child. A child is not about just an age, you know. Child is a child in knowledge. And then you will see here it says, and he will teach him the scriptures and wisdom. Anyone notice the mistake here? Anyone notice the mistake? Focus with me. She said, my Lord, how can I have a child when no man has touched me? He said, okay, when you see the word he, who is the one who's talking? Anyone can help me? She just said, my Lord, how can I have a child when no man has touched me? He said, and the Muslim make it capital letter he. Do you see it? So right away when we see the he, is that he the angel or he is the God? Any Muhammadan can help us? Where is Isa? Isa, are you there? It says he. Who is talking? Who is the Abdul? He can find the fool. Who is he? If anyone have little logic, he will understand that he is God, because she is talking to the Lord, right? She said, my Lord, right? The angel is the Lord of Mary, Muslims. So do you see how stupid you're? But look what happened in the verse after it. I mean, this book is written by certified mule. So he said it will be so. Allah create whatever. If you are Allah, why you say Allah create? Or and then he says, he wills to have anything done. He only say be, it will be. Okay. And then he says, and he will teach him the scriptures and the wisdom. Like, what the heck? And he will teach him. So he here who? Remember, the story saying angels said, angels, not one angel. So he is one. This is number one. Number two, it is he as Lord, because she was speaking to the Lord. So the one who's answering must be the Lord, because she spoke to him and he answered. He said, it will be so. And as you see, the Muslim, they make it capital letter he, because it is God. And then here it says, and he will touch. Like, what the heck? And then the stupid Muhammad continues saying, a messenger to the children of Israel. So here you see another stupid statement from Muhammad. How the Messiah, he is a messenger to the people of Israel, yet his book in the Quran is a Greek book. Why Muhammad used the name which is a Greek name, which is Injil? If the Messiah is sent to the Jews, shouldn't the book name in Hebrew, at least to choose from? Why Muhammad he chose the book of John to be the Injil? You know, the more I read the Quran, it doesn't matter how many times you read it, you will see how stupid, and the slowly you analyze and see how stupid it is, you will die laughing about such an author, he cannot even put, I mean, there is no story in the story here. He is just this is something exists 600 years before you, and there's millions of people believe in it already, etc. So he can't even rewrite the story, even in the fabrication he's trying to make it. He cannot even put the persons, or let us say the actors of the stories, in the place where they should be. So suddenly the one is talking here, and he will teach him. Who is the one talking? If this is the Quran, and by the way, it doesn't say gospel, it says Injil. That's what we are saying. If this is the Quran, and Quran is the word of Allah, and he will teach him, who is saying that? Who is a Muslim can help us? Who is the one saying in verse number 48, and he will teach him? Any Muhammadan? Admins, are you sure you are an admins? Admins, are you sure you are admins? People using the F word. Andrew, what are you doing in the admin? What are all those admins for? I have them in the chat. Please watch the chat carefully. Don't allow anyone to use bad language. You cannot see it. Should I put it for you on the screen? Anyway, so you see, I mean, the Muslim, they're trying to say something is not in our belief. They lie when they say, oh, the word begotten mean God has a son by sex. But all of us, we knew that Jesus' existence had nothing to do with any sexual relationship. And we know that our God is holy, and our God is the one who do not need to have sex in order to have a son. But in fact, that is only the God of Islam. Isn't it the God of Islam who he said, how I can have a son, yet I don't have a girlfriend? So the God of Islam actually is the one who confirmed that he is unable, I'll type in English, he is unable to have a son unless he have a female to sleep with. So Zakir Naik again is making fun and exposing his God as usual. Who is the one who cannot have a son without a female? Allah. Allah. Jesus' existence have nothing to do with Mary. Jesus exists before Mary was exist. The birth of Jesus as a man between us, that is not the point of existence. This is why the same book, the book of John, says, in the beginning it was the Word, and read the rest of it, and the Word is what? The Word is God. Here we see in front of us, in this funny Quran, chapter 6, originator of the heaven and the earth, how can he have a son when he never have a companion? Fast translation, because in Arabic it says sahiba. Sahiba mean a girlfriend. But look what happened. We will keep this translation for the sake of fun. If Allah is the originator, how come he need a companion to originate? Guys, are you listening to me? Do you hear it? If Allah is the originator of everything, how does sentence make any sense? The originator of the heaven and the earth, how can he have a son if he had never have a girlfriend? Well, that's mean he's not the originator, because the one that Allah created the sun and the earth and the heaven and whatever is between and inside because he have a girlfriend. Isn't it him who originate Adam? So how come now he need a companion in order to, to complete that task? Do you see it? Yeah, Allah is comparing himself to a man, but this is not what we are saying now. Focus with me a little bit. I want you to focus with me in the word originator. If I am the one who originate, which means I'm the creator, do I need suddenly the creator who created this massive universe, suddenly he needs a little female so she can sleep with him and then she give him a baby? What happened to the originator? He lost his power? So the same verse is the same proof that the one who wrote it is stupid, because you are questioning. Okay, the Muslims, they say you cannot compare Allah to anyone, right? Nothing like him. But what do you mean nothing like him? That's a contradiction. He's like me. I cannot have a son unless I have a girlfriend, a wife, woman, whatever. But you say you cannot compare him to anyone. But he just compared himself to me. If you change the translator, by the way, because some Muslim, they might say, we don't like this translation. What translation you like? Tell me which one. All of them, they are stupid. Let us see Yusuf Ali. Maybe Yusuf Ali can give Allah a better finger. To him do the primal origin of the heaven of the earth. How can he? I mean, look at the stupidity. You just, how you can question the one who originated the earth and the heaven, and you say, how can he? Do you see the word how can? You Muslims asking your God, how can he? Oh no, we are not. It is him asking himself. So Allah sat in his ass and he said, how I can have a son without having a girlfriend? Huh? I cannot. So when Zakir Naik, he said that the word begotten mean having sex, that is a contradiction for the Quran, because here in chapter 6 verse 101 is speaking about a man, his name is Allah, he cannot have a son without having a girlfriend. But the same book in the Quran says that Mary, she said to Allah, how I'm going to beget a son when no man touch me? So it is possible for Mary, who no man touch her, yet she begotten a son, but it's not possible for Allah. Why? Because simply the God of Mary is the one who made Mary have a son. This verse proves that Allah cannot be the one or the reason or the originator of the heaven and the earth. He cannot be the creator. He cannot be the one who created Mary. You see, the story about Mary, if we go back a little bit, the story about Mary, how Mary came to existence according to the Quran. Her families, her parents, they are very old. They cannot have a son. They cannot have a daughter. So how they can have a son? How they can have a daughter? If we go here, how Mary, she came to exist. How Yahya came to exist, actually, in this example I give first. How Yahya came to existence? How Mary came to existence? They cannot have kids. So this means it's not sexuality who made them have kid, even though they are married and they are wife and husband. It's a miracle. The man, he is old. The woman is old. The same as the story of Abraham. It's a miracle. So we see that God of Abraham is the God who can do miracle which nobody can do. The stupid God of Islam, he steals stories from the stories of the Old Testament and he put it in his book. He steals stories from the New Testament. He put it in his book. But because he's a stupid, he lost the meaning. For as you see here, the God of the Christian, the God of the Jews, he can, according to the Quran, he can make the man who he maybe cannot even, have a son forever. That's it. And not only that, the verse says it clearly that the woman, she cannot give birth. She cannot have babies. And he is so old. So the problem is from both sides. The woman, she passed the age where she don't have her period. And that means mission impossible. She don't have egg. So how this God was able to make such a person and such a woman had a son, but in chapter 6 verse 101 he could not make himself have a son without a woman. Anyone have any question? Anybody have a question? So do you see how easy to refute those liars? But if you don't know, anyone can refute you. If you don't read your book, if you don't go deep, I advise you, all of you, regardless of your age, actually what we do now here is really helpful for many, so they can see many things. Number one, we cannot trust Muslims when they answer. They lie just to make a point which does not exist. We cannot trust them to explain their religion because they lie about their religion too, and they lie about our belief. So conclusion, we cannot trust a Muslim speaking about Islam or speaking about Christianity. Please answer, CP. Is Islam is an antichrist? Islam is antichrist, but not the antichrist. The antichrist is a person, is not a group of people. But the Bible says, who is the antichrist? The one who deny the Son and the Father, right? You deny them both, that Jesus is a son. Islam deny it. So Islam as a belief is antichrist. Muhammad as a person is antichrist, but I don't believe he is the antichrist. He's so small to be such a person. He's an evil, yes. His followers are big in number, yes, but he is too small to have such a title. Can Muslims have sex with multiple women in the same time? You see, the Quran says it is lawful for you, your women. So nowhere in the Quran says don't do it. Now the Muslim, they will say the Prophet used to go from women to women, and he put them in different houses. That because they used to fight. Quran says it's made lawful for you, all those women. As you see, it's forbidden for you, women who they are married, except even married women, if they are your slaves, you can rape them, even they have husbands, as you see. So it's lawful for them to have sex with all the women. Nowhere in the Quran says you cannot. If a Muslim can show me, please help me. I would like to see it. I want to learn from you. Who's ever denied a son, a son does not have the father. Who is ever denied a son does not have the father, but whoever confessed the son has the father as well. Okay. Any other question? Here we have a question. It says, Antichrist, why not anti-Muhammad or anti-Allah, Muslim only? The answer is very simple, because how Shaitan can be anti himself? Actually, when the Muslims, they agree that Shaitan is Antichrist, they agree that he is God. Because Shaitan, he will not challenge someone like me and you. This guy, he have his kingdom. He's ruling the earth, actually, as we speak. So who am I and you? He is Antichrist. For this is the king who he fight against. This is the King of Kings. You know what I mean? So when a Muslim, he says, if you go in their hadith, you will see they are saying Ad-Dajjal, Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal. And the Muslim, they translate it as the Antichrist. This Antichrist existence in Islam is just a copy theft from a thief. His name is Muhammad. He have no dignity. He steal, he copy, he paste, and then we laugh at him as usual. So we go here, we find that the Antichrist is all over the hadith. If we ask the Muslims why there is Antichrist, there is no anti-Muhammad. If Muhammad is the most important person, why the Antichrist? The Antichrist is anti-God. And actually, Muhammad, he made it clear that the Messiah is God, not only by accepting the idea of the Antichrist, that somebody will come claiming to be the Messiah, but this person, he can chop a person to pieces and he put them together. So he's not just a man, he is Satan himself. There's a hadith, let me see if I can find it, about the Antichrist. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Read with me this. When the Antichrist, he see and his army, this guy is powerful. He defeat everybody. He conquered the whole earth. But the second he see the Messiah, when the enemies of Allah, read carefully, would see him, see who? Jesus. Which Jesus? The son of Mary. Jesus, the son of Mary, would descend and would lead them. So Jesus is where? He's in heaven. Jesus in heaven. When the enemy of Allah would see him, he would disappear just as salt dissolve itself in water. And Jesus will make him dissolve like salt. That is how amazing the power of a Christ. And the one who is witnessing to the power of a Christ is the devil himself, Muhammad. The devil Muhammad himself agree that when Shaitan, aka Allah, aka Muhammad, see Jesus, he will dissolve like salt in water. Any Muslim have a comment? Somebody is asking, what color was Jesus? Ghana, Nigeria, I believe you are a racist person, because only people who care for the color of Jesus is racist. Have you ever seen one statement in the Bible speaking about the color of Jesus? Nowhere. Do you know why? Because Christianity is against racism. Only racist will ask, what is the color of this person is coming to me? Because color is a concern to you, for you are racist. And racism not only can come from somebody is black or white. Racism is exists in every ethnic. Why you care for his color? Do you have an answer? There's only one answer. You are racist. If Jesus was born in Africa, he will be black. If he's born in China, he will be Asian. If he's born in Korea, he will be Korean. If he born in, what difference going to make? But if we ask the Muslim the same question about their prophet, there is books speaking about how white Muhammad is. How white. Not only actually that, according to the filthy Muhammad, that when Allah he created Adam, he created the black people from the left shoulder of Adam, and he decided to kill them, to send them to hell. And he created the white people from the right shoulder of Adam, and he decided to send them to hell, and the hate in front of you. So according to the cult of Islam, the pagan cult, the black stone kissers, you are black because Allah he punished you and he made you black. Actually, this is the Quran. The Quran says clearly, يَوْمَ تَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهُ وَتَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهُ. The day Allah will make faces black and make faces white. And maybe you might say, oh, this is metaphorical. No. You can go to chapter 82, verse number 32. Sorry, chapter An-Naml. Yeah, chapter An-Naml, verse number 82. You will see it says, we can go to Ibn Kathir actually. You might say this is not true. You will see that Allah will send the animal, a beast, and this animal let us see. This animal is going to have this is Luqman. Let us go to 82 chapter. Give me a second. Is the screen showing for you guys? Okay, hold on. I don't want to give you a headache. Give me a second. Too many screens open in my side. I need to close some. Yeah, chapter 27 actually. Yeah, 27. 27 and Naml, yeah. I was right. 27. I will put it for you on the screen in a second. Give me a second.